Hey everybody, happy 2025. I hope your New Year's Eve and your New Year's Day and all your holiday were awesome this year, and I hope 2025 is the best year you have yet. Welcome to the Plead the Fifth podcast, episode 1, recorded here at Bullhucker Studios in the bowels of the Brush Emporium. In this new podcast, what we do is we're going to bring on pairs of people, whether they be married couples, people dating, children of their parents, buddies from work, old-time friends, you name it. We're going to have all kinds of people on this podcast. What they're going to do is we're going to bring them on. We got 12 questions, a dozen questions they both have to answer. Questions from love, life, and passion to time travel to what would you do if? It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. And in this first episode, we have people that helped build Bullhucker Studios, even if they didn't know they did it. They have been heavily involved in the podcasting I've done for over 5 years. And, two guys I love very much, Matt Gordon and Adam Brokey. They come on for episode 1. It was only fitting that they are the first episode because, well, they're always the first episode, right? So anyway, I hope you enjoy the new podcast. Give us a couple episodes. And if you're following us on bullhucker.com, that's awesome. Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. And if you've already subscribed to our YouTube channel for the Bullhucker podcast, you're going to get this anyway, as it is going to continue from the audio version, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking us out. Hope you enjoy.
All right, let's start.
Hey guys, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Day. Oh my God, it's 2025. That's crazy.
We made it.
Yeah. And if we don't make it, it's because we're doing this early.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be very confusing.
Super ass awkward. Yeah, the new podcast. Welcome. I hope. R.I.P. to the Bullhucker.
R.I.P.
You were the last episode of that podcast, obviously.
Devastating.
No, it was good to have you as the final guest. I felt it is only fitting that you would end the Bullhucker since you were the one that started it.
Thank you.
The people at this table were rather. So, but welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed the new format. As I said in the intro, we got 12 questions every week, right? And we'll see how that goes. And at the end of the podcast, Matt brings us a question, and that question will be part of the new 12 for the next guest, right? We're going to lose one for the new guest and gain one of your questions. So, without going any further, let's. You ready to do some questions?
I love answering questions, especially a deposition. Those are my favorite.
All right. Episode 1. Here we go. All right. Question number 1. Matt, what's your biggest pet peeve?
People who don't have pet peeves.
That's a horrible pet peeve.
It's not. And when people are like, oh, what bothers you? I'm like, nah, nothing at all. Like, it's totally fine. I don't have any issues. And you're like, if I just dropped like water on your forehead for 2 hours, you'd be completely contented with that entire situation. That's a lie. You've lied right to my face. You have a pet peeve. Tell me.
I see what you're saying. People who don't admit to having pet peeves, but they do have pet peeves.
Oh yeah, I'm just super relaxed and easygoing, and nothing in the world bothers me.
Say nothing bothers me.
Levitating above me? No.
Yes.
Like, come on now. Yeah, something's gonna bother you. And I know this is petty, but like, it's just one of those little ones where I'm like, there's no way anybody in the world is that happy all the time.
Maybe you're just that cynical.
That's probably true.
I haven't answered what you just said, but it's going to be in another question. So I also agree with the whole peace, love, and happiness all the time.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Show me your ugly side,
There's always something.
Right.
But like little things that bother me, like an unreasonable amount, like not tightening a peanut butter jar all the way before you put it back. Like, everybody hates that. At least I assume.
Ask Adam his pet peeve.
What's your pet peeve?
Leaving cabinet doors open.
No,
and drawers open.
That's insanity. Yeah, who does that? Do you do that?
I don't mean to, but sometimes it happens.
That's
okay.
Why?
I don't know why.
Just close it.
I'm a monster. What do you want,
I lose
dude?
my shit. Oh, it bugs me so bad.
Really?
I don't like that at all. Okay, now I have a new pet peeve. Whatever that is. Like that. That makes me mad.
What's your latest pet peeve? Moose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, we have a list.
List of people I want to kill because of their pet peeves. That's a callback from the last Bullhucker episode.
There's so many
ladies and gentlemen.
callbacks.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So
Callbacks.
mine is when you're arguing with someone and their last argument is so. That drives me insane.
They just say so.
You're like, so are we done? Or you'd say something to somebody like, so. I hate that. God, that pisses me off. I probably shouldn't say on this podcast because I'm going to get that all the time.
Everybody's going to do it.
Yeah.
So
that's something I totally hate.
This is going to go on the whole episode.
All right. Question number 2. Who is the first person you call if you need to dispose of a body?
Oh, that's a great question. I was pondering this. you go through your list of friends and who you get to trust and all those. It's like, I don't think it's really about trust.
Right.
I think it's more about like professional services. So for me, like,
Really?
yeah, if I'm disposing of a body, I'm not going to call you guys. You guys don't know how to get rid of a body. That's not going to help me at all.
How do you know?
We've caught them. We know now.
Mr. Lundstrom, thank you for being in the court.
Yeah.
Here's a video of you saying that, how do you know? So how do you know,
How
Mr.
do you
Lundstrom? I'll be like,
So?
I didn't see that one coming.
That was fantastic.
You know what's funny is it hit me so hard. It took me a minute to figure out what you just did. Yeah, I was gonna throw my little joke in there, which I forgot. And you said that, and I was like, "What do you? Oh, you mother!" So, where would you find said services?
Oh, I mean, a VPN plus Tor, the browser that gives you access to the dark web, and then like a search for like professional services. I'm not insane. Like, I'm gonna find the right way to handle this situation.
You know what? I would call a friend because I don't know what any of that shit is. So
I can help. Actually, I can't. How do you know? I don't know.
Do you know who I would call if I had to dispose of a body? I'd now call Matt Gordon my friend because apparently he knows how to find these people that get,
Happy to help.
But then I'd have to kill Matt Gordon. People to kill to save my own ass.
Yeah.
Matt Gordon.
I'm finally dead.
Yeah.
The list is complete.
Adam, who'd you call?
I wouldn't call anybody.
You do it
I
yourself?
just do that shit myself.
Smart man. That's the best thing.
Less people involved, less people that know it, less people have to worry about.
Because then you got to kill two people.
Yeah,
No loose
exactly.
ends.
Yeah.
No, that's the motto, Adam. No loose ends, right?
No loose
Yeah.
ends.
I started writing. I've got a bunch of questions to fill out as we go, and I got to be honest. We've already what's the word I'm looking for? Incriminated ourselves. two questions into this podcast.
Yeah,
so,
that was fast.
Yeah, thank God that question will be gone in 2 days or 2 episodes. So
Par for the course.
this one is a Matt Gordon. I thought about you because I'm excited for the answer here. Question number 3: what is the first job you hated?
All of them.
Now, there's the one you hated first.
No, I remember doing what was it? It was a podcast a while back. I feel really bad. I can't remember the name, but I'm bad with names. Everybody knows that about me. But the concept of work is frustrating for me more than anything else. The obligation, the requirement to provide through things that I'm not really fond of is in every single job I've had. That's not to say I don't love what I do. Please, for the love of all things holy, don't fire me. But like, I hated being a sign holder because I had to use a third of my paycheck on sunscreen so I could stay outside to hold the sign. That sucks. So
I feel that should be provided.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That would be PPE, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So again, please go tell 14-year-old Matt when he was negotiating for his pay rate to be like, we need rights around here, guys.
right.
Like,
That's
I
right.
wasn't at the level where I could yell at Dog the Bounty Hunter yet, so I was like working my way up.
Explaining to them to put a ginger in the sun for an extended amount of time, probably not in anybody's best interest.
Yeah, you're gonna deep fry.
Yeah, you're gonna deep fry.
Like, it's
Well, you're already covered in blood and flowers.
yeah,
so.
that's true.
That's a callback from the last
last
episode of the
episode.
Bull Hugger.
Where the flower was at, I didn't get sunburned. That was the best. It's a exfoliant as well. No, I hated working at KFC because I was covered in chicken blood. Like, that was not fun. I think where I find something to hate in every job I have just because working is frustrating for me, but
Right.
I always find a way to redeem those negative aspects because of the people. Like,
Right.
I could put up with crap or hate an aspect of a job or whatever. We all hate aspects of our job, but
Right.
like, the people can elevate that hate in a way that like I can really enjoy and appreciate to a certain extent.
Right. Matt or Adam?
I don't know. I was sitting here thinking that. I don't know, probably working at the grocery store.
Really?
And when I was in high school, yeah. I mean, I didn't mind working there because I was working with my best friend. It was just the boss. He was just a giant drunken asshole.
Not fun, not a good guy? No? No love?
No.
What's
He
his-
would show up drunk, smelling like a brewery, having a bad morning, and then he'd yell and scream at Chris and I about whatever. And what really pissed him off is if I knew there was stuff that needed to be done, and he would and I knew he was going to tell me to do it, I would do all that shit before I'd go ask him what he wanted me to do. And then when he couldn't figure out, like, clean the dairy counter or the dairy case, I already did it. Well, then go mop the meat department. I already did it. I already did it. He would just make some shit up. Go count the cans of green beans. Okay. So
go count the cans of green beans.
So we, like, for inventory, we'd have to go in the back room where all the back stock is. And this was like in like 91. You'd have like a notebook and a piece of paper, and you would write down like 16-ounce cans of peaches, 5. And you'd have to hand write all the back stock and then go take him the list so he could do the order. So I would sit in that back room for a couple hours just writing everything down.
That's horrible. Me, I've hated every job like you said, but I look back lovingly on them all as I have the current job. You know what I mean? It was like, ugh, this place sucks even worse than the last place. That's going to be my mantra until I either become a lottery winner or a porn star. That's where that chain ends. So, and I got about the better odds with both of them. So,
I was going to say, I thought the surprise at the end of the last episode was that you were starting like an OnlyFans or something like that. And I was like, gonna finally shoot your shot and see if you can make some cash.
Yeah, it'd be only one fan. That's all that would be.
OnlyFans.
He would be on Lonely Fans.
Yeah, that hurts.
Poor guy.
Yeah, that's too far. That's too far. That's a great question. If I say so myself.
That's a great. Hey, wait a second. That's a great question, Larry.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. I just need a little love here, you son of a bitch. All right, Matt. Here's one that's up your alley. What is the first movie that made you visibly emotional?
Pinocchio.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was actually the first movie I ever saw as well.
Really?
I was very, very young. The animated Pinocchio, just something about the whale, and like it scared the shit out of me as a little kid.
Do you know what scared me the most about Pinocchio?
What?
Was when they were drinking and turning into donkeys.
Yeah, that's pretty scary too.
Yeah. You know? I mean, honestly, let's say, what were they trying to say? Drinking turns you into an ass. I mean, that's what I mean. That's. Yeah.
I was like, can we dig in a little bit more on your fear of donkeys, Larry?
Yeah. Well,
that's on his Lonely Fans.
Yeah. No, it wasn't, because they get whipped in that show, and that's if I was into that kind of stuff, you know.
Terrible. And I love every second of it.
So Pinocchio is the one you got, like, you cried to. Huh?
I was scared. And when I think of emotional, like not just like I got hit with something positive, but like I felt the range of emotions. Yes. You know what I mean? Like oh my God, I'm terrified. Oh my God, this is I feel this. He's becoming real. Like I still feel those emotions from that movie when I was a little kid.
I got you.
Pinocchio all day.
Adam?
E.T.
E.T. I think you said that.
Yeah. Like, so I was out in California at my aunt's, and we went and saw it in the theater. And at the end, like, well, when he throws the ball into the shed and it comes back, I was kind of like the whole range of emotion thing. Like, I was scared. I'm like, what's going on? And then, like, when they were like dressing him up and all that stuff, and he was like hiding in the stuffed animals, I thought it was funny. Then at the end, when the people in the hazmat suit show up and take off, and they're taking him away, and I was a wreck. I was crying so bad, because we were going to do like a double hitter type deal. We were going to go to E.T. and then to Annie. And I was such a wreck after E.T. We scratched Annie.
Wow.
We were just like, we're going to go get this fat little kid some ice cream, and we're going to go back to Aunt Lavon's house and let him recover.
They didn't want you to see anything about orphan life. Yeah. They're like, after the E.T. thing, we're not going to risk. It could be
they're showing me movies where they're taking people away and they're taking stuff away, and now we're at a movie where people don't have parents, or kids don't have parents.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? Why are we in California?
They're trying to say, if we have to go through a movie again when you have to leave, orphan life is the place for you.
We didn't leave. Well, I made it through the movie, but
did you?
I was a wreck, man.
I didn't make it through E.T. I guess I started vomiting. Mom said, just got sick in the theater. Yeah, I've never seen the ending to E.T. So. To this day.
It's crazy.
It'll make you cry.
He rides a motorcycle off into the sunset.
Yeah, good.
He's in a milk crate in front of a bicycle.
My dad says he makes love to that little alien boy. Yeah. So, oh my goodness. So,
I read that E.T. was a sentient plant. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I don't know how I fell down this one random rabbit hole, but like he could communicate, make things grow, and all that. That he wasn't a sentient humanoid. He was a plant.
Huh.
Like, huh?
I've never heard that.
All right, there you go.
Like a theory.
Yeah,
Okay.
one random thing.
I don't remember being emotional as a kid at any movie, to be honest with you. I don't remember getting
when they
emotional.
just sprayed him with Roundup. What?
I love the Larry going, I have no emotions and I've never felt anything at all. He's like,
know.
can't they just kill ET with Roundup?
Yeah. I'm glad we weren't friends as children. But nowadays, I catch myself get emotional all the time. I don't know if I get more estrogen or something.
No, it's old age. The pain of life is sitting in.
But the first movie I remember getting one was Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
When he's talking to Jenny's grave, and I'm sitting there, she was a whore for us. You know, I got so emotional at that point, man. That's a great movie, by the way. But
She was terrible.
She was horrible.
Like the worst.
Yeah.
He deserves so much better than her.
I didn't realize she died of AIDS.
Yeah, she did.
I didn't realize that till years later when someone said she died of AIDS. They go, she had AIDS?
She had
Oh,
AIDS.
I had no idea. I just learned that right now.
Because apparently in the 80s, if you did a lot of drugs and had a lot of unprotected sex.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ping pong doesn't do that.
Ping pong does not. Well, not that we know of. So, all right. Question number 5. What obstacle in life continues to challenge you, Matt?
Oh, myself. I am always my biggest obstacle.
Yeah?
All day, every day. I simultaneously hold all of the keys to my success and every single decision that I have to make inside of my mind, while also making all of the mistakes and doing all of the dumb things that lead to not having those successes. And it's not even like it's a super, super negative thing per se. It's just more along the lines of recognizing my weaknesses, identifying aspects of those weaknesses and how they challenge me, and then trying to tackle those things in a way that is first and foremost sustainable. Like, I'm legitimately going to be better at the end of whatever course I take, and I am seeking to a certain extent to achieve a peace. I think a lot of people live goal oriented, production oriented, and I don't really care about any of that. What I'm interested in is, can I feel good with me at the end of a day? Can I talk to myself in my mind and be appreciative that I can do that without looking at it as a negative? And can I channel those aspects of myself into making the world maybe a little bit better when I'm in it? And that's kind of it. Every single day is that constant battle, I'd say.
For a legacy.
No.
Oh.
No. God, no. No, legacy's irrelevant. We're all going to be forgotten in a generation or two. You know, I love the thought experiment, like, name your great-great-great-grandfather. Most people can't, because we can't, because most of those people are not remembered.
Right.
I don't care about being remembered at all. That's a waste of time, folly at best. I think for me, it's, can I feel contented with me in tackling obstacles instead of feeling despondent or despair that I am an obstacle?
That's a pretty deep answer,
That's
man.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm glad I gave these a week ahead of time. Which, if you want to do the podcast, I do give you the questions a week ahead of time, just so we're all
I mean,
clear,
I could flip it back and be like, my magnum dong, you know, like, but I just don't think that really.
No, it's a great answer. I didn't mean to talk bad about it.
I'm
No,
messing with
it's a great answer, though. It's I'm kind of with you on it. You know what I mean? Well, the parts getting out my own way is my big,
100%.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
other people aren't obstacles. They're
Right.
they're opportunities.
Right.
People like to help people, even the ones that don't even realize they like to help people, because
Right.
every single person is helping other people as we interact in society.
It makes you feel better about yourself. It makes you feel better. It's a feel good thing to help others. It really is, whether you like it or not. So
Yep.
it's a great answer, Matt.
Thanks, man.
Glad you're episode 1 here. All right. Let's see. Next question 6. What person has made the biggest impact in your life?
I would be shocked if anybody answers this question with one person.
Okay.
Because I don't think trying to remember back. It was a great video of Arnold Schwartz and how do you say it? Schwarzenegger. I always jack it up. But he was talking about this concept of the self-made man and how he doesn't believe he is one, and he doesn't believe that the self-made man can exist at all. And I guess from the perspective of like, if I go to Chipotle, I don't go farm the beans. I don't go raise the chickens. I don't make the tortillas. I don't do any of those things. And yet every single person in that support system allowed me to have a burrito today. Like,
Gotcha.
there's something amazing about that.
Yeah.
And when we point out individual people who make like really big impacts in lives, it's usually like an emotional connection. Someone led me to this, or like I got involved in this type of thing because of, you know, this person. And I've had zillions of those situations. in the weirdest way, I'm not trying to like duck out the answer because I am going to give one specific name, but I really want to get home like there's zillions.
Sure. It takes a village.
But a person that's been on my mind a lot lately that impacted a huge chunk of not only music, but in building my personality up and just giving me the confidence to express and be myself, Mr. Craig White. Craig White was like a second father to me. He motivated me to learn music. He was my guitar teacher for a spell. I didn't listen to any of his lessons, but I was there. I was in the room. He taught me how to use GarageBand and record and give me the tools. He supported me in times when I couldn't really support myself. He gave me my first acoustic guitar, an Ovation plastic back. I still have it. Nice. I beat the shit out of it, man, but it was so great to have that memento. Well, anyway, the reason I'm talking about Craig is, I don't know, I was going to say it kind of funny, but Craig passed a few weeks ago, or almost a month now.
I'm sorry for your loss, man.
Dude.
Sorry to hear that.
It's life, right? And I think, talking about the previous question, that's why I'm seeking peace, obstacles, how can we handle the deaths, the losses, if we're not at peace with ourselves is really hard. But when I think of people who made a massive impact on improving my life, pointing me in a direction that's positive, and, frankly, I wouldn't even be doing this, literally, if he wouldn't have given me the opportunity to learn how to record and record his music. Like, Craig White, that man set me on paths I didn't even know could exist.
I'll tell you what's going to happen with Craig White right now. He's going to be our very first shout out on this new podcast. Hey, what's up, Craig White?
I love you, man.
Hey, rest in peace, brother. So that's good. You know what a great answer, man. So very cool. And I'll also, Craig White, please notice he didn't give the answer right away, just so you know.
You're dead, dude. It's your fault.
All right. That was the biggest impact in your life. Very cool. Very cool. Matt, what's a deal breaker on a first date?
The pay dance. I don't do the automatic pay, especially first date. If it's like a cheaper thing, get coffee or something like that, we can get our own coffees. But I operate on the person who asked pays. If it's a mutual, we go halvesies. Like, hey, I think it'd be cool if we did this versus I'd like you to come with me to this. Yeah. That drives me nuts.
So if you're a guy and you're asked by a woman on a first date, do you at least offer to pay, or you just expect her to pay?
I think we're in a modern era, man. Maybe 40 under, 35 and under, I would feel like they're empowered. They can, and they, like, I don't know if they always want to, and I can't speak for every single person everywhere. Because
right.
Lord knows I don't want to.
Right.
But like that, I think that I've experienced that personally, and that generosity and the norms that exist around people might be shifting to a certain extent. Not everywhere, but in some place.
I had to learn that lesson with the last girl I dated. Is that I'm very old-fashioned. Like, I offer to pay. You know what I mean? And no matter what. And I had to learn the fact that she had to pound in my head, like, no, I'm going to pay. Like, she'd fight me on it sometimes. Like, I remember getting mad and thinking to myself, no, I'll pay for it, or the hotel room or the tickets or whatever. And she'd go get it ahead of me and be like, no, I'll help, And so thank you, Patty Wood, for teaching me that lesson. And she was right. She was right. I'm stubborn. I'm unbelievably stubborn.
No, you?
Yes, I know. It's weird.
Shocking.
This is news. First big news of this podcast. I'm stubborn. So as she'd tell me every day, and ironically, I would argue the fact that she was stubborn. So that's for that. So.
Hey, self-awareness is great, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. What's yours, Adam?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've been on a date.
Yeah.
I was like, there's like women that ask guys on dates. Where do you find those?
Yeah. I won't say it because it's a horrible job. I'll tell you when I'm done. So.
I would say libraries, generally speaking.
Church, maybe?
Yeah, church.
I don't think you find people at the libraries, period, anymore. That's the world we come to.
What the hell, man? I'm there. I love libraries. I love books.
Cool people.
I think
knowledge is power.
So I don't know if it would be a deal breaker, but I know it would be certainly frustrating is you're trying to have a conversation with them and they're staring at their phone.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Put your fucking phone away.
Yep.
I won't even take if I go on a date, a lot of times I won't even take my phone into the restaurant with me because I am with the person that I want to talk to.
Yep.
So, I mean,
I feel you on that.
It's so frustrating. You go in and I just went to dinner with my mom and stepdad and my daughter, and I'm sitting there and I'm like asking a question. I look up and everybody's on their phone. It's like, and they are, it's like, and you look around and everybody's on their phone. No one's talking. Put your phones down and talk. Have a conversation.
It's weird because I guess that would fall into my pet peeve in a way with the phones. Not on a date, but it just made me think of that. I hate when I look online and people have they're at a concert. They're at something big and they're sitting there recording it on your phone. Put the goddamn thing down.
Yeah.
And enjoy the moment, man.
Experience it.
Be there. You're there personally. Be there.
Right. There was a friend of mine on Snapchat that had went to a concert, and they had posted so many videos on their Snapchat story that, like, how there's like the little dash forever into it looked like a solid white line because there was so many of them you couldn't tell. I mean, I sat there and like flipped through for probably 20 seconds. Just it's like, man, like, are you even watching the concert?
Be in the moment.
Why do I need to buy a ticket to the big concert in Denver because I can watch it on social media?
It's so funny you say that. I just saw this the other day for NBA courtside seats. Is instead of selling tickets to go courtside, they set up 3D cameras for VR, and you buy a VR seat that's courtside at the NBA game.
I hate that.
Okay, I thought I was going to hate it too until I saw the experience. No phones, no people in front of you. There's no people walking around. You're in a space where you can 100% just watch the game. I'm like, I love that.
I guess I'd have to see it more. From your explanation, I don't think I'd enjoy it.
I'll send you a link.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
It's like that bar. Have you seen that new bar?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like,
it's a giant screen.
It's like a giant screen that like wraps around you. So you're in a sports bar. But when I first saw the very first video of it, it looked like it was someone filming from like the sideline of a Michigan game. Yep. And then they pan out and they're in a bar. There's like people walking around, setting up tables, but it's just it looks like you are on the sideline of the football.
It was fucking awesome.
It was amazing.
Yeah, like I'm all about that. And if it's cheaper than the live experience and I don't have to deal with all the BS of live experiences, parking and all, dude, I'll pay $50 for a VR ticket if I can enjoy it on my couch. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and I guess it makes sense for them because they can sell unlimited amounts of those, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's where there's a finite amount of seats. Yeah. Crazy. That's I agree with you. I agree with both your things on the date. So for me, I guess is when they argue about who has to pay. That's my thing. So all right, let's see. Question number 8. If you won the lottery, what is the most completely unnecessary thing you would buy, Matt?
I've pondered this. I think everybody has. There's not many things in this world that you could spend, although it's going to raise in price for 2025. It's $5 a ticket next year, but $2 to $3 now. Not many things in this world that you can envision an entirely different universe for yourself with $3, like a lottery ticket does. Right. I remember years ago I did a zombie 5K. And it was like you wear flags and zombies are on the track and they chase you. There's like obstacles and all that stuff. I was so fat. I got caught so quick. So I was one of the infected. It's not connected to what I would buy. But the reason I bring it up is I was driving out, I believe it was on 76. This is before I ever worked out here. And I saw a Lotus, like a 2-seater sports car. Nice. It was red. It's like $100 and some odd $1,000, which is not even, if you win $500 million, what's a $100,000 car? It's irrelevant. But I would buy every color Lotus.
Nice.
Everyone. Nice. And I would have a garage so I could drive and just pick whichever color Lotus I want to drive that day.
That matches your outfit.
Yeah, I fucking love those cars. And when it drove past me, I'm in my 1986 Dodge Ram at the time, we just gone. Yeah. Like, oh God, that would be a dream car. Yeah. I did just a whole fleet of Lotuses.
Adam, have you ever thought about this?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, there's always the house, a new truck, a new.
But whatever. Those are necessary things,
right? But I've always kind of wanted a Porsche.
Oh, cool.
But I know my big ass will not fit in one.
I was gonna say it, buddy.
So, since I have all this money, I'm gonna have one custom built. I'm gonna have a stretch Porsche.
I love it.
That's just a little bit longer, a little more legroom. High tower, the type thing. And so I would have a Porsche built that would actually fit me. A custom built Porsche.
So instead of a Porsche 911, it's a Porsche 9101.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
I also would buy a sports car, but for a different reason.
Okay.
A Lamborghini or something just super says, I have money now.
Yeah.
And the reason I'd buy it is because I'd use it for one purpose only, and that is if I hit the lottery, I'd do everything in my power to get fired from work.
Of course.
Because then I'd collect an unemployment check, and I'd pick that sumbitch up in a fucking Lamborghini Countach. I'd pull up and be like, I need my $600, or I'm going to get my lawyer, who I also pay $600 an hour.
That's right.
To come get my $600. Now, let's make that happen, people.
Oh, I love it.
That's what I would do. Or I would finish my 2 weeks like a good person, but I would hire someone else to do my job for 2 weeks. So I'd sit there and watch them. I would have a little chair, like a little folding chair, a beer, and a portable TV where I'm watching stuff. Like, don't forget the temperature of that.
Just like sublet the job out.
That's right. That's right. And when they're like, Larry, you made a mistake, I'm like, oh, technically I didn't. Jose made the mistake. Isn't that right, Jose?
The agreement we signed indemnified me from any action.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
I would tell you, if I ever hit the mega lottery, like worth billions, I would be someone who goes bankrupt. But man, I'd restart the bull hooker because I'd have nothing but great stories at that point in time.
I'd have a great time.
You arm Larry Lundstrom with a few $1 billion, it'd be a good time.
You'd have great stories and all the best equipment.
That's right.
Oh my God.
I would change my name so fast too. Like, I don't want to get discovered if I win all that money, because then, you know, everybody comes out the woodwork like, hey, me, it's Uncle Mike. Remember when we used to hang out when you were a little kid? Like,
it's me, Mrs. Bowser.
Yeah.
Like, I remember you.
I believed in you. I thought you could be a singer. I think I would change my, and I've thought about this a lot too, is I would change my name to something from like China or Japan or South Korea or Vietnam, so like you couldn't even guess that was me.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Disappear.
Do you have an alias right now?
Do I have, what do you mean an alias?
Do you have another name you'd go to if you...
I mean, not one specifically. I like Japanese because every syllable is a vowel.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. The way that sounds would be kind of cool.
I never thought about that, but yeah, I think I would go by my alias, Roman Vandersnatch. I would probably say that just sounds like a rich dude.
Excuse me, Mr. Vandersnatch, your Lamborghini is ready.
On sends a Lamborghini, yeah?
Yes. We are heading out to pick up your unemployment check.
I hope you got a new air freshener, because you know the Snatch hates the old one, right?
Snatch. He's gonna show up at a Broncos game because he's gonna own a club level suite.
Absolutely.
And he's gonna have on a jersey, and the back of it's just gonna say the Snatch.
The Snatch.
That's right. And Sean Payton will get like, what's that?
The Snatch is here.
The Snatch wants us to run a screen pass to the left. He feels it'd be better. That's how much money he'll have. The Snatch is very bad.
Oh my God, I love it.
Cortland Sutton. The Snatch says you got to punch an offensive lineman in the face because he's not happy. So that's right. I would become the Snatch. So
perfect.
Oh, I'd be awesome at it. All right. That's a fun. Some of these I want to be very fun. You know what I mean? Some are very serious. So, okay, let's see. Number 9. What's your favorite childhood memory?
This one's easy. I have several and many, many good ones, but one that always stands out when I get asked this question is, I believe I was in 6th grade. I was playing on a Castle Rock Rec Center basketball team in a basketball league. And I think there was 8 teams total. My team, 10 teams total. We went 5-4 in our division, and were like a lower mid seed for the tournament. We played lights out in the tournament and got to the semifinal game against the 1 seed, and our best player Tyler fouls out. I think I might have told the story on the bullhucker, but it's just one of those ones where like I
doesn't sound familiar at all.
No, thank God. Good. I'm not just forgetting things that happen in life. Tyler fouls out, and I'm the number 2 option on the team. I played like point guard, shooting guard, and I'm decent. I'm not that great. But they're like, we're going to give you the ball. You got to figure out something. Go see what's going down. I'm like, we do a screen. I run to the corner, baseline shot, 3-point shot, drain it. And like, I start crying, freaking out. My dad hugs me, lifts me up into the air. Like, we go to the finals, we fucking lose, whatever. But that memory of like my dad giving me pizza and him saying, I always knew you could do it. Like, I believed in you. It just carried over way longer than I think that memory probably would have. But sinking that shot felt good. And I loved it because later on, the team that we played, 3 of the starters were the starters for the high school basketball team that I went and played high school, and I was not very good, and then wasn't on the team anymore. Desan Gary was one of the guys on there, and Desan caught me my senior year, and he's like, do you remember when you ruined my life? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You made a shot when we were in like 6th grade that I still have living in my head rent free. Like,
Really?
Sorry, Dasan. Like, my bad, dude. But he was the one guarding me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's like, I never forgot that. He goes, my basketball career trajectory changed on that single shot. I'm like, that's so stupid. We were in 6th grade. But for me, I was a champion, baby. I was the best.
That's very cool. I like that. So how big was the school you went to? High school, kids-wise.
Oh, I think I graduated in class like 1,100.
Oh, so it was a massive school.
Yeah, it was big.
So, to make the team is actually a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, not like a small town like we have.
Number 15 on the squad playing practice, and then eventually my left ankle gave out, and I stopped playing sports.
That's a great one. Okay. Question number 10. What advice were you given as a child you regret not using?
Wear sunscreen.
Well,
that one's really easy.
No, this is the bull hooker because you didn't wear sunscreen. Well, you did because you had to pay for it with your.
No, I be more like legitimately. Not even just the redhead stuff, and I know I'm joking about fucking sunscreen, but like I remember getting almost a 3rd-degree burn on my back at Waterworld because I didn't put enough sunscreen on, and I'm like, I have melanomas cut off me from that one sunburn that I've been burned way more times than that I have a feeling I'm gonna look like wrinkly leather when I'm older, no matter how much moisturizer I use, and I'll probably die of skin cancer, which is not. It doesn't sound super fun.
Many years from now.
Hopefully.
Many years from now. Okay. Do you have one, Adam, or no?
Not really. I mean,
my grandmother was Hispanic and spoke Spanish, obviously, and she told me over and over, you need to learn Spanish. It's going to help you in the future. And she tried to teach me, but once again, I'm very stubborn, and I thought, well, no, because you want me to do it, therefore I'm not going to. The Nintendo, when they come in Spanish, then I'll learn how to speak the damn language, and you regret every day. And then in the job I have now, it would be insanely useful to know Spanish. So that's I regret that every day.
Larry, you need to learn Spanish. And Larry turned around and went, so?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what happened. Then she slapped me. Because she was 4 foot of angry Mexican at times.
Chanclas? Please tell me she had a chanclas.
No, she had fists.
She had fists?
She beat him with the Bible.
Oh, dang, okay.
Yeah, the chanclas cost money. She's not wasting that. She's going to just pound you.
I like that.
No, my grandma was very sweet, but she was tough but fair. All right. Number 11. Now, this one is my favorite. Adam came up with.
Okay.
This could spark a conversation in its own. But would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your future self or your post self?
My post self?
Yeah. Like past.
Futures.
Past self.
Oh, past self.
My
Sorry,
bad.
my past.
I was like, my future self or my future self.
Sometime Larry Reed. This is a tough one.
Yeah, I was sitting on it, and I think I tend to be the type of person that is, I'm not fond of nostalgia, because when I look back on my past, I don't necessarily just see the good stuff. I see a lot of the pain and the mistakes and the bad things, and I'm very appreciative that I went through them. At the same time, I'm like, fuck.
Also, if you had that conversation, you change your path, right?
Yeah, and that in itself, like whatever the Ashton Kutcher butterfly effect's going to come out of the decisions I make.
Sure.
But I don't want to know what happens to me. I don't want to talk to my future self, because if I talk to my future self and it's disappointing, then I get to live with that for the rest of my life.
That's a great point.
That sucks ass.
That's a great point.
If I talk to my future self and it's amazing, but I don't achieve it, then it was my fault I didn't get there. Like, I don't want to know any of that.
But if you talk to your future self and it's bad, do you try and change it?
That's where I think I'd rather attack it in the past first.
Okay.
There are not many things that I would change about my life, but small key moments that I could look back on and be like, hey man, go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Even if it's the wrong direction and it ends up causing pain or something like that, like you're going to have an opportunity to experience things in a way that you didn't expect if you just do that instead of that. And I'd rather go that perspective, I think.
Adam, this is your question 100%. When you sent this to me, I was like, that's an amazing. That's why it's towards the back. So it'd be here for 11 more episodes.
Yeah.
Adam, have you thought about this at all?
A little bit. My thing is, if I go to talk to my future self and it's like 10 years from now and I'm not there, it's like, great, I die within the next 9 years.
Yeah. True.
So if I don't know if I would want to go forward, because if I go forward to talk to myself and I'm not there, unless it's like, I love the thought of time travel and going into the future, but I want to go like amount of time where I know it's not realistic I'll be alive.
Yeah,
like
right.
150 years from now or whatever.
Right. Speak for yourself, but right. The moose Roman is immortal. That's what it is.
The snatch lives forever.
The snatch will never die.
The snatch lives on. So it'd probably be a past self, and just kind of a deal where it'd be like, it wouldn't be anything life changing. I don't think. I'd just be like, give yourself a heads up. You're going to go through some shit, but you get there. You get through it. You'll be all right.
Yep.
So
I asked this question of a lot of coworkers as I was talking about this podcast, the new podcast, the format, and Jerry Cage and a lot of them. And this has been fun for me, this particular question, because I've gotten such crazy answers, and nobody really knows what they do. And after much, much thinking about it, I realized what I would do. And I shared this with a friend who's going through a hard time. I would go talk to my past self and give myself the most vague advice, but what I figured would be the most important advice. I would go tell myself, I won't tell you who, but you're going to outlive a lot of people you love. You're going to outlive people you love and respect. So take the words "I don't have time" out of your vocabulary. Make time for people. Because when they're gone, you're going to have a hard time wrapping your mind around it. And when they're gone, you're not going to understand it a lot. You know what I mean? And you're going to struggle with it. So make sure you make time. Other shit will be there when you get there. Make time for people. That's what I would do. That's my official answer. I love that question, by the way. I absolutely love that question, bro.
I really like that. I think I want to change my answer if that's okay.
Yeah.
I think what I would do is go back to my past, and I would go to a bookstore and identify an almanac with scores of sports games. And then I would bring it to my future self so I could make bets on those sports Back to the Future. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, guys, for rolling with that one.
Yes, that is good.
Thank you for
I was sitting there, I was like, I think I've seen this happen before.
I was waiting for the yes and no one gave me my yes and.
I was going to say you could just shorten that answer by saying I'd biff it and then just call it good.
I was going to say, that will end horribly, and we have a movie that proves it.
All right, great. Hey, the improv here at the Improv Podcast.
I know that you'd become the Snatch's worst enemy because we'd have competing companies.
That's right.
We'd both be rich, The Snatch wouldn't like that Matt knows the odds every time. Matt always gets it. The Snatch must find out why. Welcome to the Snatch Podcast. Okay. All right. Last question, my man. If you had to fist fight any beloved figure in history, who would it be?
I mean, so many good ones. I want to fight somebody I think I'd win against. I don't want to fight somebody I know is going to beat my ass. Mother Teresa. She probably knows how to do like an elbow drop or something like that. Yeah. I'm not trying to rock.
Yeah. See, my answer is what you just said. I'd fight Gandhi because he hasn't eaten in a while, so he'd be weak. That's one answer. My second answer to that would be Buddha. To call back to the beginning of the episode, everybody's all happy and joy. I bet you jacked that fat bastard in the mouth once. I bet his little shirt comes off. He's like, oh hell no. You say, you know what? Chinese food sucks, and so do all the restaurants. Yeah. Bap! I bet old Buddha. I bet he's not all peace and love and happiness. I bet Buddha wants to scrap.
I concur. Yeah, 100% with that. It doesn't. Oh man, I thought he did do martial arts though, and then one of them was like 400 pounds, so he's gonna sumo your ass.
I'm glad you warned me. I don't get my ass kicked. I asked this question about beloved because if you just said any historical figure, everybody fights Hitler, right? That's what everybody does.
That's
so
boring.
Yeah,
he's all methed out too, so he'd probably bite you and weird stuff. I don't want to mess with that.
On Zen's, I bite him and he becomes a zombie.
He turns into a zombie.
It's great with my teeth, yes.
So you don't know who you'd fight.
No, I think I have some. I mean, the first thing that popped in my head was one that I can't say out loud, and so it's like I got to pick another one.
Is it current?
No.
Oh.
No, I was gonna be like, I think it would be intriguing to Thor, Jesus, all the religious figures that exist across the pantheon of gods and religions that exist, and they're all very peaceful, really kind people. But I'm like, they got to know how to throw down. If I just went up and kicked Odin's back leg and he tripped up, would he turn around and smack the shit out of me? I don't know, but I'm curious about it. That's what popped into my head.
Lightning bolt in the ass, man. Lightning bolt in the ass.
Job, like that. What a poor guy. Go up to him and smack him in the face and then run away.
He's already got bad stuff coming to him.
I know.
Anyway, so,
that's why I'm like, that's a very nice, like, that's a nice guy. I would feel terrible if I just found out his life is already in hell and I'm like, whap, and then run off. Like, that sucks.
Adam, do you have somebody in mind?
Well, not really. Then he like brings this whole like Bible thing. So I'm sitting there thinking like,
my mind never went there. But yeah.
so then I'm sitting here thinking like, you beat Jonah. Maybe he won't end up in a whale, but he will because he was running away from God, and that was how he got him sent back. But or something like that. But yeah, that whole Bible thing opens up a whole new direction. Or the religious side of
things. Who in the Bible would you fight? That's horrible.
Sorry. But like, there's so many nice people in it. That's where I was like, beloved. People really care about. Like, it'd be funny to like fight Harry Potter and like a live version of Harry Potter, just beat the hell out of Harry Potter in front of all his fans and see what happens. Like, oh my God, they just beat up Ron Weasley. Like, that's so messed up.
Oh,
like,
you know who? This is.
That's a great answer, by the way.
This is who I would. It's not even back in history, but I would knock the shit out of Taylor Swift.
There you go.
Well,
Katie's going to be so mad at it. I'm sorry, Katie. I did not endorse the attacking of Taylor Swift. That was Adam.
You don't like Taylor Swift?
Oh, fuck that bitch.
Oh, wow.
I don't endorse that, Taylor. You're amazing.
Yeah. I like the fact you're going to stick it for Voldemort. It's like Voldemort was framed, sons of bitches, and just start whacking old...
No, but Taylor's great. I love Taylor.
Yeah, I like Taylor. I'm a fan, too.
Anything for the queen. Yeah, slay, queen.
That was... Those are some great answers, Matt. That's the great answers on our new voyage of a podcast. And as at the end of the podcast, Matt, we have to get a question from you.
Indeed.
Did you bring one?
Of course I did.
All right.
I have so many questions. Life is a question. Okay, this is my question, and I think it's very, very simple. If you were charged with explaining color to a blind person, how would you do it?
Wow, I need to get these questions in advance. That's an amazing question. I don't know. I don't think there's an answer to that question, Matt. I don't know if there's a way to actually do that.
So you could try electromagnetic spectrum, teach them about frequencies so they can understand that it's a type of energy.
Maybe textures or, what I mean?
I just think it's fascinating to try and... We have missing senses. So like you plug your nose and you describe smell. You can't. You're like, what the hell does that even mean? I heard a phrase that described smell in a way that I had never heard before, and it sort of inspired this question, was tasting at range.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that really, that's basically what that is. So if we don't have sight, like how would we try and describe sight to someone without it?
See, this is why I give the questions in a week in advance, because that's something you got to think about. That's a thinker. That's a great question. Yes, and then maybe through temperature also, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Ice cold blue, red hot red, and as the temperature gets a little lighter, it's pink and maroon or whatever, you change the temperature. That's a great... But then again, would that really show them? Because that's just what we know, because we've been taught that, and we actually have the ability to see the color. How do you teach colorblind people color?
Yeah, what is color?
Yeah,
the absence of color, and how does light interact with objects to create the colors that you're seeing? And I think it's fascinating, especially different color stars will create different color frequencies. So if you have that light hitting your area, you'll experience different colors. And you can see this all the time. If you have a red light in a room and you look at green, it doesn't look like green anymore.
Right.
Is it still green?
That's fantastic, Matt. I like that a lot. That was a great question. Before you go, I do want to talk to you about something. You're currently in a band.
Oh, yeah.
Or producing music, I should say. I don't know if you're calling yourself a band.
It's a rap group.
Okay.
That makes it even more official, I think. Okay. We're elevated above SoundCloud rapper now, which is a great title to have for a rap musician. Right. No, I'm the producer, one of the songwriters for Filthy Limericks. It's a music project with two of your beloved Brushites, actually. Juan Mario, the building inspector over at the City of Brush. He is a bilingual gentleman who writes in English and Spanish, raps and sings. Very talented. And your very own chamber director, Mikhail Maris.
What's up, Mikhail?
Maris. I told him I'd do that. He hates when people say his name wrong. They're like, it's Mikhail Maris.
Right.
No, it's Maris. So really got to emphasize it. Mikhail's our creative director. He designs all of our graphics and does all of our album covers, posters. I mean, he came up with our logo. He does our music videos. It's amazing collaboration with three dudes or two dudes. I'm a dude. We're all dudes. just people that I love working and collaborating with. I'd stepped away from music for a really long time. It just didn't feel good, and it feels really good to just make stuff with these guys. We have a new song coming out next month called New Apartment, and if you can believe it, I'm rapping on it. So
actually, this is going to come out. It came out in October, November.
This is going to come out sometime in the future, but that's also the past, depending on when you watch this. Figure that one out. It's coming out in November of last year. Yeah, that tracks.
It came out. Yeah.
It came out November. The song that I wrote last year for fuck man. The song came out last year in November. I rapped on it. It was a lot of fun. It's about me moving from Brush to Aurora and getting a new job and just what life's like. But just creating things. It's fun.
Right. How do you find you?
Oh, we're on everything, dude. Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, Facebook, Filthy Limericks Music. You can find our link tree, Filthy Limericks Music.
I will, and also if you don't want to look for that, it'll be on the description below. We're going to put that for you so they can come see it.
Thank you.
And they've already heard some of your music.
That's true.
It's the intro to this new podcast. So
Filthy Limericks is providing the sound here over at that is called Name. Great. You can edit it in.
Matt, I want to thank you so much for coming on us in New Jersey. New Jersey?
I think you just found the podcast name.
The Snatch from New Jersey. Yeah.
New Jersey Snatch.
Yeah, for this new journey, Matt. The reason we asked you back here, you were the last episode of the last podcast. You were good luck for us, so we're hoping you provide that good luck once again. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. Adam, we're going to see you from time to time, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'll pop in and out, but I won't be here a whole lot. It's with work and everything else. It's crazy. I think I don't have a life, and then Moose calls and says, hey, can you podcast? I'm like, no, I got this and this and this. So I think he could hold down the fort from time to time as a solo interview type deal, but yeah. I'll pop in. I'm sure there'll be other faces sitting here too. So
it'll be me and the Snatch. That's going to end up being the name of this podcast. Is the Snatch. So questions with the Snatch.
I won't be able to Google it at work.
No, you won't. Anyway, Matt, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Adam Vokey.
Hey, catch you next time. Peace.